The Holy Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ according to Luke. As Jesus and his disciples went on their way, Jesus entered a certain village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. She had a sister named Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to what he was saying. But Martha was distracted by her many tasks. So she came to him and asked, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her then to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things. There is need of only one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her." The Gospel of the Lord. If a few of your neighbors in the pews appear to have this strange mixture of radiance and exhaustion about them, those people were leading Making Your Mark art camp this week. If I could ask you to just exhaust yourself a little more, could you stand up, those of you who led in any way, helped to lead Making Your Mark art camp? The theme this week of Making Your Mark, there are 3 years of the cycle, and this was the 10th anniversary of the camp here. The theme this week, this year, was I am somebody. I am somebody. And that theme, that phrase, the power of that phrase contained there it started back in 1943. The Reverend William Holmes Borders Sr., who was an early leader in the civil rights movement in America and helped bring up a lot of leaders whose names you're more familiar with. He wrote this sermon that ended with a poem, and I won't read the whole thing, but the way that it moved was, I am somebody. I am a poet in Langston Hughes. I am a creator of rhyme in Paul Laurence Dunbar. I am a Christian statesman in J.R.E. Lee. I am a diplomat in Frederick Douglass. I am somebody. And he goes on and on and on. He's a leader in the Black community, speaking of all the Black people who were somebody in this country, championing that selfhood at a time when it was not always championed. And then this refrain, I am somebody, was taken up by Reverend Jesse Jackson and made famous through Sesame Street. Any of you see that Sesame Street episode when it aired in 1973? Yes, Nancy remembers it. And he sat there with the kids on the street and the Muppets, and he spoke with them. And I will read the entirety of Jesse Jackson's poem at that time, which he read back and forth with those children. I am somebody. I am somebody. I may be poor, but I am somebody. I may be young, but I am somebody. I may be on welfare, but I am somebody. I may be small, but I am somebody. I may have made mistakes, but I am somebody. My clothes are different. My face is different. My hair is different. But I am somebody. I am black, brown, or white. I speak a different language, but I must be respected, protected, never rejected. Repeat this back, these closing lines that he spoke. I am somebody. I am God's child. I am somebody. He spoke those words at a time when we needed to remember them. And this week at camp, we remembered that every child, every one of God's children needs to stand up into these words during their life. And we explored the theme with the campers all week. All the artists were invited to break open this theme somehow. And each morning, I would invite the campers to a quiet minute. And then I would ask some questions, tell a little story and ask some questions to ask them to name how they were standing up into their somebody-ness during the week. And this week, the meaning of I am somebody seemed to me to be that in 100,000 moments through the course of our life, that we would claim that. That we would take a chance in quiet moments or reflective moments to lay down who we aren't and to exuberant who we are. And in today's gospel, I see this happening. Martha is working hard. She is doing what she perceives to be her duty. But we don't get the full picture. And there's some questions left open by the text, but we know from the text that she is distracted by what she's up to. And so Jesus invites Martha to somehow lay down the expectations that she has of who she's supposed to be and what she's supposed to be doing in order to do something greater, to do maybe something that she desires more deeply than cleaning the house. And maybe what she desires is to clean the house. That's a wonderful thing to do. But her attitude in the gospel seems to suggest that's not what she'd like to be doing. And what I thought is cool in the gospel is that Martha really is already saying, I'm somebody. She's already standing up for herself. You see that in the passage, right? Lord, tell Mary to get with the program. I'm not supposed to be doing this alone. She's sticking up for herself. And so Jesus's admonition to her, when he says, Martha, Martha, when he repeats that, it's a kind of, hey, wake up, wake up. His admonition is not so much a rebuke as an affirmation. Yes, Martha, you are somebody, but let me guide you to say, you don't have to be the somebody that you were told to be. This reminds me of some wisdom that I've heard from therapists, that we can let our feelings be messengers. Our feelings can be messengers for us. So when Martha is frustrated, she can let that frustration be a messenger to her. That next time she is frustrated, she may hear again the words of Jesus, Martha, Martha, you're distracted by many things, but there's need of only one thing. Jesus doesn't actually end up saying what the one thing is. But he does say Mary has chosen the better part, and Mary is sitting and listening. So somehow there's an invitation to sit and to listen, to take a quiet minute. And the openness Jesus leaves to what that one thing is makes me kind of lean in to hear the unspoken word. And this week through art camp, what I heard is that the one thing is to be somebody, to be the one somebody that you were created to be. And when we are not being somebody, to let our frustration be a messenger, to let our worry be a messenger, to let our art, the things we're creating in the world, be a messenger to us, to let our play in the world be a messenger to us, to take a quiet minute and again lay down what is not us and exuberant what is. In the tradition of William Holmes Borders Sr. and Jesse Jackson and Making Your Mark, and of Jesus, let us speak out once more today. I am somebody. I am somebody. I am God's child. I am somebody.